Good morning, everyone. My name is Karla, and you have reached my FlossTube channel, KarlaBeingCrafty, where I talk about mostly cross stitch, but also some of the other crafts that I do or have done in the past, and a little bit of life thrown in. Today is Sunday, October 25th, and this is my 66th FlossTube video. So I want to say welcome to any of you guys that have just found me. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel, and I hope that you like what you see, and you can hit like and subscribe and all the good stuff to come visit me every week. And if you are a returning viewer, I love you so much, and thank you so much for supporting my channel and visiting with me every week. I feel like I can say happy fall finally. I'm almost afraid to tell you guys this because I don't want to jinx it, but our weather has seemed to come down now, out of the 90s, and we have been in kind of like the low 80s, high 70s, which is very refreshing to me. I'm not a huge fan of the hot weather. I mean, in the middle of summer it's great, but yeah, but when you want it to start being fall, you want it to start being fall. I actually slept for the first time last night without turning the air conditioning on. I just have my fan, which I have going all the time anyway, and so that was great. I had the windows open this morning, and it's a nice cool breeze coming in, so hopefully that will stick around until we get into winter, which for us doesn't mean very much, but so yeah, so I've been enjoying the weather this week. I have finally started lighting my fall candles. I have a nice one called, I think Autumn Hayride or something, burning from coals, and it has some kind of scent in it that I am really enjoying. I'm not sure what it is, but it was surprising. I think it's like, I don't know, wood smells like mahogany or cedar, not cedar because it's not a piney smell, but yeah, so I'm excited to have those fall scents in the air. So yeah, so I just hope it sticks around. I'm enjoying this. It's a little overcast right now, so it's a little bit darker in my apartment, even though I have all my lights on. I do, for my videos, often rely on the light coming in from the window, and there isn't a ton of light coming in, so we'll just make do with what we have. Let's see, health update. For those of you who've been following my channel, you know I had like that whole back issue. It's pretty much better. I'm still being aware of my body, because like I stayed home yesterday. I didn't go to my brother's, specifically because my apartment was just like crazy a mess, and so I really wanted to do some for me, intense cleaning. I used the Roomba. I got all the floors like swept up and looking decent, and although the Roomba is like much better for my back because I don't have to vacuum or sweep and do, you know, those kind of things really hurt my back, so I don't have to do that. But I also need to get like everything off the floor and out of the way, all the little pieces of furniture. Like I have a bunch of little ottomans and stuff that I use as stools and, you know, side tables, and, you know, and I have some rolling carts that I try and get out of the way so that the Roomba can have the best path. You know, I have a cat, as you know, which means I have 2 cat boxes in my living room, and he occasionally gets a little bit aggressive with the tossing the litter everywhere, so that's one of the big things, is that all that litter needs to be picked up. So anyway, so I did a lot of like straightening and cleaning yesterday, and my back was feeling pretty tired by the end of the day. I didn't have like pain, I was just achy. So I'm gonna try and take it easy today, just do some like cleaning off of countertops and stuff like that doesn't require a lot of bending. Yeah, so that's my plan. I don't know if I mentioned this in my regular video, but I did mention it in the extra video I did last week. I have had pre-diabetes for quite a while, and it has been managed with medication, oral medication, but I've been really bad about going to the doctor, and I finally went in and got labs done, and my numbers were way too high. So the doctor did suggest that I start taking a small dose of insulin at night, and I'm increasing it, you know, until I get my numbers to where they're supposed to be. So that has been going pretty well. my numbers are coming down. They're not where they should be yet, but they are coming down, which is very good. And yeah, and I'm kind of watching my food, and I don't want to say I'm on a diet, but I am being more careful, let's say, and kind of watching the carb intake and kind of doing lower carb and just paying attention to what I eat and my health. And I think I'm doing really well. And so everything's moving in the positive direction. And I'm feeling fine. My back is a little tender, but I'm doing really well. So anyway, for all of you who have messaged me and have given me words of support and everything, thank you so much for that. And I'm doing good. Gonna move forward. I'm seeing a weird light behind me. Yeah, I left my makeup light on. Oh well, please ignore. Okay, so what else do I have to, looking forward to Halloween. Halloween is this Saturday. As you guys know, I am going over for a little Halloween party with my niece and nephews and brother and sister-in-law. And in fact, I have all the candy because my sister-in-law wanted to have a few surprises for the kids. So there's a big Halloween piñata that was sent to me to bring because her kids are nosy. If it was delivered to her, they'd find out. So I have all the candy. I have the piñata. I have to put that together, and then I'll be bringing that on Saturday. And I have several components of a cute little costume. Not really, but I'm gonna, I have cheetah cat ears and a cheetah print top and some stickers for my face, so I'm gonna do the whole, cat thing. Shocking, I know. So maybe I'll take a couple pictures and post them on Instagram to share with you guys. So that's basically my week going forward, my week looking forward, my week going back, and my week looking forward. And yeah, let's get into the stitchy stuff, okay? So I have a finish and an FFO of the same thing, which I'm very excited about. So I finished Social Butterfly by the Witchy Stitcher. This is for my stepdaughter Taylor, and I'm actually going to see her today, so I finished it just in time to give it to her. I just think it came out really pretty. I don't even know if you can even read it that well through the camera, but what it says is, I'm not a social butterfly, I'm an antisocial bat lurking in the darkness. And I did it on this really pretty dark moody fabric by Under the Sea Fabrics. And then just this plain, very inexpensive frame. And then I have those little scatter bats that I've shown you in the past, and I just glued them to the edge here. So again, it's all very subtle, but I really like the way it turned out, and I think she will really like it too. Just as a side note, those diamond painting crayons that I showed you were really helpful actually for gluing on these bats, because so if you do that kind of thing where you're gluing little bits of sequins or whatever onto stuff, that might be another reason to maybe look into getting those crayons or something like that, because I was able to just put little dots of glue on the frame and then pick up the bats with the crayons, and it made it a lot easier to deal with. So, and the white in here is glow in the dark, just FYI. Okay, so that is my finish. Okay, I did have a tiny new start for my my tree. Oh, I should probably turn that off, but I don't want to have to edit. For my my like holiday seasonal tree, after this week, I feel like I should take off the more Halloween type ornament, so I wanted something else to put up. It's still fall. I'm not going to change the tree out until December, but I wanted something that was a little bit more Thanksgiving type thing, so I found just a really small turkey pattern for free on Etsy. Not on Etsy, for free on the internet. And then, so I started that last night. And I just have the rest of his like back feathers. And then I'm going to put it into a little ornament. So I'll show you that next week. And then I'm also thinking of stitching the Baking Squirrel by the Blue Flower that's in the little cookbook from Market. And so that will go on the tree too. And then I also am going to do a little, like a Star of David on this little blue scrap of fabric for December. But I haven't started that yet. I just pulled some colors for it. And again, just a little free pattern. Okay. So that's like barely a start, but that was my new start. Okay. So things I worked on this week. The first part of the week, I worked on Leo. This is by Satsuma Street. And this is my first pattern on black fabric. And I got his face pretty much done, except for you know, adding the lines and stuff that make his mouth and his whiskers. But I think that it's looking really good. And I just, as I said last week, I love the bright colors on the black. I just love the way that looks. And then for the rest of the week, I decided, this kind of is partly plans, but so I pulled out all of my, what I consider like Halloween type stitching, and I decided to only work on those for the rest of last week and this coming week. So I got the social butterfly finished. I think it took me maybe a night and a half to get that done. I just had the back stitch on like the last 3 rows, so I got that finished, which is kind of like Halloween-y stitching, but it was, you know, for Taylor, so not exactly Halloween. But I pulled out my other Halloween-y type projects, and I decided I was only going to work on those for the next 2 weeks, and then I'm gonna put those away until probably like June or July, I think is when they will come out, and then maybe I can get some good work on them to get them actually finished. So after working on Social Butterfly, this project, actually this one won't go away probably until December because it still kind of fits in with November. This is the filigree pumpkin that, that's the back of it. This was another free pattern I found on the internet, and so I'm doing this white pumpkin on fabric that I dyed with a little bit of orange tangerine and a little cherry red onto a gold piece of fabric. And I don't know, when I'm filming these things I feel like you can't see the projects that well, but I guess especially when you watch them back it looks better. I mean, I'm looking on it on a tiny little screen, so that might have something to do with it. I worked on that a little bit. So this one I'll keep out to work on in November. But then my All Hallows Eve, which I didn't actually end up getting to work on this week, but I'll show it to you anyway. This is Glendon Place, All Hallows Eve. Working currently on the Bats and the Belfry part. So I think I want to try and get in a good couple days of stitching on this one so that I've made at least a little bit of progress this year, and then I'm going to put it away. because although I love it, I just am not inclined to pull it out, to pull out the Halloween type stuff once we're past Halloween, at least for a couple months. So I'll put it away to make up more room here, because I'm not like upset with the amount of whips I have, but it's like too much for the space I have in my tiny place, the space I have them out, and I have them where they're easily accessible from both my daybed and my desk. But I don't have that much space, so when they get to be too many, then they always look messy, and that drives me crazy. And then the last thing that I worked on this week is, what is my little cover? I don't know. Well, the cover is not here. Huh. That's weird. I wonder where it went. I don't know. Okay, well, anyway, it's Moonstruck. It's a Mill Hill kit. And actually, I got quite a bit done. I got all of this stitching up here, and I got some stitching down here done. I really love this and the way it looks. It is kind of difficult to stitch on. The black perforated paper and the colors are all really dark, and it is difficult. And the colors are also really similar, so they look different when they're stitched, and it makes this nice, you know, pattern and texture and everything like that. But stitching with them, the dark magenta and dark burgundy are so close when you're stitching that it's hard to see. You have to like turn it to get it in the right light and stuff. But I have been enjoying this, so I think I'm gonna work on this one maybe today some more. Yeah, but I mean, I'm enjoying it, but I think it's gonna go be put away for a little bit as well. So that is all the whips I had this week. I feel like I'm flying through this video. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention with this pumpkin, and I've been really bad about posting stuff on Instagram. Really, really, really bad. But I need to take a picture of this and then put it on Instagram, and Laura from Stitching by the Shore has been having a pumpkin birthday sale, hashtag pumpkin birthday sale, all month to celebrate her October birthday. So basically anything that you stitch with pumpkin on it, she would like you to attach it to her hashtag. So I've been really bad about that. I've thought about it every time I pulled out a pumpkin thing, like, oh, I need to do that, and I haven't. So hopefully today I will remember to do that and attach it to her Instagram tag. Okay. I have another pattern in there, Halloween type pattern, so maybe for next year. That was another free pattern that I got. Okay. I don't have any like haul this week, although I'm kind of like excited. So I ordered off of eBay. I've seen people do this before, and I was intrigued and I was in a mood. So I ordered a mystery box of cross stitch kits. So it was $10, and then the shipping. So I think I spent like $18 on this thing for 10 kits. So it's guaranteed to be 10 kits, but I have no idea what the kits are. It says small kits to large kits. So I'm assuming they're kits, so they have to be full of everything, right? They have to have the fabric and floss and everything. So it could be 10 pieces of crap, or it could be 10 really great things, and I have no idea. So I think probably when I get it, I'll do an unboxing video so you guys can, you know, see it with me and see if I was like, if I just spent $18 on nothing and really wasted that $18, or if I got a great deal. I'm hoping I got a great deal. If there's stuff in there that I don't think that I would stitch or that I would want, I will give it away to you guys. So definitely if there's any Christmas stuff in there, then it will be a giveaway because I don't stitch Christmas stuff. So I'm hoping I got some like treasures, you know, who knows? I mean, I don't know exactly how this works. The seller has a bunch of positive ratings. She doesn't have any negative ratings, so I'm assuming that she hasn't ever, you know, screwed somebody over as far as, you know, just put a bunch of really horrible stuff in there. Excuse me. But who knows? I mean, it could be a bunch of like 80s ducks, and, you know, although I'm sure there's people who are nostalgic for that kind of thing, you know, and I will put them up for giveaway as well. It could be a bunch of the little kits that come in like cross stitch magazines, so, you know, which are always really cute, but not really worth, let's say, $1 each. Again, who knows? It said from small kits to large kits, so when I get it, probably next week, then I will do an extra video and we can all be surprised together and see if I got any treasures or if it was just a bunch of like wah wah stuff. So I thought it would be fun to at least try it. So that's something to look forward to, but I don't have any new hauls this week. So okay, so the other thing I did yesterday, I dyed that little piece of green scrap of green fabric for the turkey that I'm doing, and so while I was doing dyeing, I didn't want to do a whole dyeing with, you know, a little tiny piece of fabric, so I put a couple other pieces in there. I just really love this color, the way it turned out. I think it's pretty, and what I really liked about it is I kind of have been wanting to make an apple green, and I don't have apple green, I have emerald, which is dark, and so I mixed the emerald with yellow and I ended up getting the color that I wanted, which is always exciting. So I just thought I would share that with you. It's fun to do the dyeing sometimes. I've kind of like slowed down on it because I felt that instead of just dyeing for, you know, no reason, that like when I have a project that I will dye to the specification of what I'm looking for, and then you know, and then sometimes I'll do 2 or 3 different batches to get what I want or to give myself choices, but I thought that that kind of makes more sense than just dyeing for the heck of it and then having to choose from what I have for my projects. I have a big box of all the light neutral, you know, white and cream and stuff like that that I feel is really dyeable, of all different counts and stuff, although I'm starting to go for the higher count fabrics now, not super high count, but and in the even weave, it's funny, like 28, I don't particularly love 14 count Aida. 28 count even weave I don't mind, even though the stitches are the same, so I don't know why I feel that way, but I'm tending to like the 16, 18, 20 count Aida, 22 count Hardinger, and then the even weaves I'm enjoying. I'm just not that big on 14 count, although I'll do it if, you know, I have a ton of 14 count in there. But anyway, so that's what I did this. So I have no projects for these 2 pieces in mind right now. I just did them because I wanted the little piece done, and but I enjoy that, and honestly, I encourage anybody who, you know, feels creative to try dyeing some fabric. I mean, it's very inexpensive to do. It's very easy to do. I have a video up if you want to see how I do it. As I said before, I do it in a pickle jar, and I do it with liquid RIT dye. The RIT dyes that I bought were all under $2 or under $3, I should say, because when I bought them, you know, I didn't want to pay the $6, $7. So I have the colors I have, and I took a really dark green and mixed in some yellow and was able to get this really pretty apple green with it. So that's kind of fun to be able to do that kind of thing. So I encourage people to try that. If you like color fabrics, you know, color fabrics are really a matter of taste. A lot of people really like just stitching on the neutrals, and I rarely stitch on the neutrals. When I do stitch on white, it's usually a sparkly white. Although I have actually several projects right now that are going that are on very light fabric. So, okay, so that brings me to my last bit of plan stuff. I think this might be a shorter video than usual, but that's okay. I already talked to you guys about like pulling out the Halloween type stitching and putting it, you know, to bed for a couple months and then pulling out again later. And I've come to a difficult decision. And I hate doing this. This is like one of those things that like starting a project and then deciding not to complete it, like consciously deciding not to complete it is really hard for me. Because, you know, I started it for a reason. And actually, this project would be a start over because I just really love the pattern. So this is the Tree of Butterflies, and it's an Alessandra Adelaide project. And I love this. So, but I really think that the fabric I picked is not right. I love it. It's a fabric I dyed, and I went for really bright. And so I would, you know, basically cut it in half and just keep the top half that hasn't been worked on. But I just don't feel like the tree is popping off the fabric the way it should. Yeah, I just think the fabric is a little bit too bright, too dark for the rest of the colors. And it makes me feel sad because this is quite a bit of work in here already. But I just don't think that it's showing off to its best advantage. And yeah, and I just think it needs a different fabric. So I'm really thinking that I'm going to abandon this project for now, put it back in my to-do pile, and then eventually restart it on a lighter fabric. One that I dye myself or one that I have. I have those background fabrics. Like the one I'm doing the chickadees on is on the blue, but I also have a pink and beige. I don't know. So I keep saying I don't know, but I think I do know. This is gonna go away. It's too much stitching to pick it out. So I'm just gonna cut this part off and abandon it. I can probably save the side for a small project, and then I have this whole half. So that's gonna go back in my fabric stash, and then maybe I'll start this again like towards Arbor Day or Tisha B'Av or something like that, because I think it's such a pretty pattern and it deserves to have the final project be amazing. And I just don't think it's going to be amazing on this because it's just too hard to see. So I made that decision to scrap this, and it's really hard for me to do. I feel like attachment to my projects, and for some reason I feel like guilty, like if I don't work on them or if I decide I don't like them or whatever, which is crazy. You know, so many people like Annie, Joy-Filled Stitcher, she's like, if it's not bringing you joy, she gets rid of it. And, you know, Michelle Bendy has been like, you know, ruthless with getting rid of patterns that are, you know, projects that she's not enjoying. And, you know, there should be nothing wrong with that, but it's like a fight that I have with my own self to get rid of it. So, but I made that decision. I'm gonna put this piece of fabric back in my stash, and I probably will keep the colors together and keep them with the pattern, because I like the colors that I picked as far as the flosses. It just needs to be on a different piece of fabric. So yeah, so I'm going to put that aside for now, and then I will start it again probably like next year, maybe February or something. Yep, so that was the decision I made. It was hard, but I felt like I had to be a little bit ruthless because I'm not pulling this out to work on it. I don't want to, and there's a reason for that, and I need to pay attention. So I'm making that hard decision. So do you do that? Do you feel guilty if you feel that way, or do you just toss things if you decide you don't want them? You know, people talk about being like a process stitcher or a project stitcher. And I've heard like different definitions of what each means, and I think I'm somewhere in the middle. I mean, I don't start projects unless I have an idea of, you know, that I want it in my home or whatever. Like, you know, if I don't think I would want to make it into a pillar, or make it into a wall hanging, or have somebody to give it to, I don't have an interest in stitching it. So in that way, I feel like I'm a project stitcher, and I don't have that big of a backlog of finished projects. I think I have 2 projects right now that I'm still haven't fully finished, and it's because of hauling out my sewing machine, which I've talked about before, that, you know, that's not my favorite thing to do. So I don't have like an under the bed box, and I don't think I'll ever get to the point where I have a ton of stuff that hasn't been fully finished. So in that way, I'm a project stitcher, but, you know, I lost my train here. I don't know. Process versus project. You know, what do you guys think, and how do you stitch, and what is, you know, what is it about it that you know, is it just you pick projects that you want to stitch because you think they'd be fun to stitch, or are you picking projects based on that you like that project and you want it in your home? How does it work for you? I just feel like I'm a kind of a combination, because the process part, I mean, that's one reason like I enjoy doing the counted canvas, because the process of it I really enjoy. So anyway, let me know your thoughts. I think that really that's about it this week. I have ideas for a bunch of extra videos coming up. I actually think that I might do a stitch with me maybe Wednesday afternoon, because I have a Halloween tag I thought would be fun to do. So I'll try that. I have been having a problem getting stuff uploaded to YouTube. Last week's video, my regular main video, I had no problem. It was normal, but then I did an extra tasting video, and I tried it all day, and I finally gave up on it, and I did it at work on Monday, and it went, but it took like 4 or 5 hours to upload, which doesn't usually happen with me. I mean, usually it's like a half-hour process to get a video uploaded. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's my phone, or if it's the internet, or if it's a YouTube problem. I have no idea. So if you're seeing this video, then I got it uploaded, obviously. So but just keep in mind, if videos are late or whatever, or not when you expect them, that might be part of the problem. So in the meantime, before I see you again, it will be Halloween, so have a happy Halloween if that's something that you celebrate, or if you have little kids that celebrate. Hopefully everybody's finding a nice fun way to enjoy Halloween and still be safe, because we still do have a pandemic, especially in this country. So please still stay safe, stay socially distanced, wear your masks when you're out with other people, do all the things. I think it's really important. So anyway, have a great week, you guys, and until I see you again, please remember to be content, be kind, and be crafty. This is Karla. Bye-bye.